What's up, guys? Today's video is don't grab your rails. Alright? Your rails are the side of your surfboards. So, let me get this board. This is your rail. You don't want to hold your board when you're trying to surf. If you're trying to hold your surfboard, you're not going to be able to stand up. And that's going to keep you locked down. So, the only time I ever grabbed my rails when I was learning how to surf is because I felt like I was gonna fall off the board, and it was like, oh, don't fall off, but you really never, ever need to grab your rails, guys. You don't. If you use the proper body position, proper technique, you never need to grab them. It's just no need for it. All you have to do is paddle, glide, make sure the wave has you, keep your chest up, put your hands down. Don't have them out here because this causes you to be wobbly and unstable. Lock them back, like right angles. Chest up, hands near your torso and armpit area. You could literally ride the wave out like this. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bumpy. Yeah, it might rock you, but you're pretty much locked in. And then you can put if you're learning on the proper board, which should be a long board, a big board, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. Hopefully it's a soft top, but you know, it's your choice. Do what you want. Always recommend one surf lesson so you can learn the right way, get the right information, and then grow from there. Because if you try to, it's good that you're watching these videos. Thank you for the support. But I took 4 lessons 2019, 1 lesson a week for a month. In May 2019, best decision I ever made. And I already knew a lot coming into it because I had already dabbled with surfing. So it made it a lot easier, but still, you need someone to watch you, to tell you what you're doing wrong and doing right, so that you have a good foundation to grow from. Because you're not gonna know what you're doing right or wrong if you do it on your own. Now, I'm not saying don't attempt to do it on your own. Again, do what you want, do what works for you. But at some point, it's good to try to get at least one surf lesson or a friend to watch you. I prefer a surf lesson, a surf instructor, because they're actually, unless you have a friend who's really good at surfing, good at teaching. Because just because you have a friend who surfs doesn't mean they know how to teach. How many of your friends in school know how to do math, but maybe they don't know how to explain it to you? Maybe you have a friend that's good at something, but they just don't know how to tell you how they do it. Some people are just naturally good at something and they don't know how to explain it. And some people are naturally good at something, or some people have been doing something a long time, so they don't know how to explain it. And some people do. If you're lucky enough to have a friend who can explain to you and watch you learn how to pop up, hey man, you're doing this right, you're doing this good, keep it up, then great. But a surf instructor, to me, or they might call him a surf coach, depending on what surf shop you go to, coach. To me, a coach is more somebody who's with you long term. You know, it's going to be a few weeks and months, and maybe they're like a coach because you're an athlete. You're going to be competing at a sport, but you know, coaching and instructing is still the same thing, essentially. You know, so yeah, you just need someone to spot you and tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. Because once you start learning and doing things, you might, it's like going to driver's ed, you know, taking a driving class with a driving teacher, whatever, coach, instructor. Yeah, you can learn with your parents and stuff, and your parents can definitely help you. But the driving instructor actually knows all the up-to-date testing, all the stuff that the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, is looking for, because they might say, well, this is the new way to turn the wheel. This is the new way to hold the wheel. This is, you know, you're supposed to wait 2 to 3 seconds before you switch it. You know, whatever. Your parents have been driving, you know, 10, 20, 15, 30 years. So they can teach you, but again, just because your parents know how to drive, just because an uncle or older relative knows how to drive, yeah, you can go say, hey, parents, hey, older relative, hey, older friend, who's legal to be in the car with me to teach me how to drive. They might not have the patience, the time, the energy or know how to explain things to you a good way so that you understand. Teaching to me is a skill and it's a gift. Not everyone has the skill, gift, or even talent to be able to teach, to be calm, to be relaxed, to be able to look at you and say, hey, this is what you're doing good, this is what you're doing wrong, not and do it in a positive way that you can get positive feedback so that you can correct and do the things you need to do. Because at the end of the day, instruction and coaching is to help someone. So anyway, that's enough of that. So what was it? We were talking about? You don't grab your rails because it restricts you from standing up. So if I'm grabbing the rails and I'm trying to stand up, it's not going to happen because you need a flat surface to put your hands so you can come up. You can't push yourself up for the pop-up to get ready to pop up. You need to have a high chest so you have space to come through if you're grabbing your rails. If you're grabbing your board, you're not going to be able to extend your chest up really high and get ready to pull your legs through. It's going to keep you down and close to your board, and it's going to be hard to extend your arms all the way out. That's one reason why it's bad. And two, again, it's going to wobble the board, and it's going to cause you not to have enough space to bring your legs through. And it's a bad habit because you'll just get used to doing it. So it's just one more thing to stop doing. So as soon as you catch the wave, you're holding the board, you don't need to be holding the board. You need flat hands because you need to pop up. If as soon as you paddle, you catch the wave, if you go to hold the board, that's already 2-3 seconds. That time that you're holding the board, you're gonna be thinking, I've done this. When do I stand up? Do I stand up now? When do I do it? Remember, the wave might only be 5, 7, 10 seconds. So if you're sitting there holding the board thinking about it, you're wasting time. It's better to pop up and fall and just keep practicing than sit there and waste time holding the board. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. There's gonna be some doubt, but you gotta get over it and just put your hands down. If you need to pause, put your hands down. Put your toes into the board. This is what I did. I put my hands down. Remember, arms back, right ankles, chest high, and I would just go, okay, I'll be ready in a half a second. I'll be ready. Okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Because you're already ready to go. If you're holding the board like this, you're not ready. Because then how are you gonna press yourself up? Look how much harder it is. And obviously, I don't want to lay on the boards in the living room because I don't want to mess them up because of the fins. But if you're holding your board, how are you gonna? If you're holding your board, how are you gonna press up? And then how are you gonna bring your legs through? Because remember, you have to jump through. You have to be able to jump through. So when you put your hands down, chest high, feet in the board, you have to be able to jump through. You're not gonna be able to do that holding it. All right, have a great day. Hope this helps you guys. My goal is to somehow do 100 pop-up videos. I struggle with learning how to surf and popping up a lot longer than I should have because I did exactly what I'm saying you shouldn't do. I don't think you should learn from a friend unless they really know what they're talking about. Because I had a few surf acquaintances. They weren't super close friends, but nice people. And they were just, hey man, do this and do that, and okay, let's go surf. And whenever I went surfing, I just went out there and I tried. And that's another thing too. Whenever I went with my surf friends, if you go surfing with a friend, they're probably not gonna sit there and watch you. They're gonna go surfing, they're gonna let you borrow their board, and they're gonna go catch waves. Because they're there to have fun and surf just like you. That's the cool thing about a surf instructor, a surf coach. They're dedicated for that 2 hours or 1 hour, whatever you pay for it. Sit there and watch you, and that's all they're gonna do. Watch you, teach you, watch you, teach you, see what you're doing, and help you fix what you're doing wrong. Tell you what you're doing right, tell you keep doing that, and tell you to fix what you're doing wrong. And if you go to a good surf shop, a good surf school, they're gonna be nice and friendly people that like teaching. So they're gonna sit there with you. If you go with a friend, they're just gonna give you a couple pointers and say, hey man, get out there, good luck. Because they already know how to surf. And again, unless you have a really patient friend, someone who likes to teach, they're probably not gonna sit there in the ocean and watch you. Hey man, come back over here. This is what you need to do, and this is what you need to do. Because they're there to have fun. They might tell you something, but there's no guarantee. Again, there's nothing wrong with going to a friend, but the best thing in my brain is to get a surf coach, get a surf instructor, take at least one surf lesson, and try a friend, try a surf coach, try a surf instructor, try both. Maybe the friend option might work. For me, the instructor worked because again, they're paid to show you how to do it the right way, and that's their reputation. That's what they enjoy doing. So they're not gonna be a surf instructor or a surf school and we don't teach people how to surf. Like, that would look very bad. They wouldn't have a business. So they're gonna make sure they get it right. They're gonna make sure they help you. And then as long as you do what they say do, you're gonna keep getting better. And the other thing about having a surf coach or surf instructor is they know what they're talking about. So you might have a friend who knows how to surf, but they might be doing things their own way, stuff they made up, maybe stuff that's not that great. Maybe it's not bad, but me, I'm the kind of person, I want to learn things the right way so that I can be the best that I can be. So that's all I'm saying, but again, do what you want, and yeah, don't grab your rails. Always glide, paddle, paddle, paddle. That's not how you paddle. I'm in a living room, so I can't really do a proper paddle. So paddle, paddle, paddle. Make sure you have the wave. Put both hands down at the same time. And don't climb to your knees. Put your feet in the board, chest high, elbows tight against your body. Okay, boom, the wave has you. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Boom, the wave has you. Glide. Boom, put your hands in. High chest. You got it, surf. All right, guys, see you later.